Hi guys, welcome back. I'm here to tell you one really important thing today. How have you started your 2015? I was going through my scrapbook and all the things that I've watched and learned last year. And one thing actually really impressed me. Amongst my teachers, my guides, Anthony Robbins was one that makes the biggest impact in my 2014. And going back through his biography and reading about him, I discovered that one of the books that actually changed his life and making himself from working 9 hours a day in a miserable job to actually being the successful person he is, and having the lifestyle he's having right now, is through reading a book. A simple book, maybe 1, 2, 3, 10 times, 20 times. Now, I'd like to talk to you about this book and sharing the simple principle about this, as I will be doing with others in the next videos. This book was written around 1940s by a Jewish psychiatrist called Viktor Frankl. Now, Viktor Frankl has had the unfortunately quite desperate situation to be taken into this Nazi concentration camp during the Second World War. Due to his Jewish heritage, he was considered as a person that was need to be persecuted. Now, this psychiatrist had a different view on his call to this tragedy, to this horrible place. In fact, he started noticing why 95% of the people were dying there, but only little things, but few of them were successfully surviving. Now he started thinking about how it comes. I mean, what's the difference between those people that they're doing exactly the same thing, they're going through all these things, and some of them they thrive, and they have this energy, this vitality, sort of kind of a divinity that makes them escaping all this pain. And he started realizing there was the neural association between the pain, turning the extreme pain to extreme pleasure. He soon realized that the way he started looking at things, instead of feeling a victim, so instead of feeling like, oh, I cannot deal with this anymore, this is too much for me, why this is happening to me, so having all these things actually suffocating him, start turning the things around and actually using this as a message for the humanity in the year to come, that whatever he was going through, make sure that will never happen again. And this makes this so much force within himself, that actually give him the strength to go through all the physical pain, through all the anger, to go through all these horrible images he was putting through on a daily basis, and thrive. And be an example for future generations. He's give themselves to evolve the consciousness, the global consciousness, and make sure that this has been a meaning, a message, and turn everything into the biggest essence. So how did he do that? Well, by one simple thing, by associating this extreme pain to pleasure. And how did he do that again? Just use the pain to gain pleasure, instead of having the pain using himself. And he understood one simple concept, that everything you can steal from a man, but one thing, that the ability to change the habit in any given circumstances. A man can choose to think and their feelings, therefore, at any given circumstances. Another example was Nelson Mandela. He got smashed, he got tortured, 30 years in jail, and he refused to think that was the last part of his life. He changed his response, and therefore he thrives even more. Now, these things goes quite proportionally to the degree of the suffering. I mean, we saw that the most flourishing people, they were like the people that they didn't come from a comfortable family, they didn't have the okay things. They were people, they were challenged, and they say, I have so much pain, I cannot handle this anymore, and so I have to change. So this is the message. And Tony Robbins understood it. Just simple human beings. How to use pain and pleasure to change your life instead of having them use you. Now if you think about you're the victim of the war, you feel of this sense of overwhelm that even the person you meet at the cafe becomes too much, unbearable. Now if you change the thing and you stop reacting of things but taking small actions, is going to change your world. So the title of the book, by the way, is Man's in Search of Meaning, written by Viktor Frankl. He understood it in the beginning of the 19th century, well, in the half of the 20th century, in a really, really dark moment. And so now we want to raise this consciousness, and throughout the next few days I will be coming up sharing with you other simple summaries about really powerful books that they can change your life. Because you don't read a book and you put it in the shelf. You read a book and you start meditating, you start analyzing it. So please stay tuned for the next videos. They will come very soon, and have a wonderful day. I'll talk to you soon.